The forest was speaking again. Not with words, but with 1,000 tiny voices rustling through the trees, voices that knew her name. "Lyra," they sighed. "Do you remember what you promised?" She froze. The lantern in her hand flickered weakly, its light trembling. The trees leaned closer, and from the heart of the woods came a whisper that changed everything. "Welcome, dreamers, to Tales by Lyra, a place where starlight and story weave together, and every whisper of the wind holds a secret. I am Lyra, your storyteller beneath the constellations. Here we wander through realms of magic and memory, discovering that even the darkest paths can lead to light. If you love stories that stir the soul, subscribe, ring the bell, and journey with me beyond the veil of ordinary nights. Tonight, I'll tell you a tale whispered through generations, a tale of a girl, a forest, and a promise made long ago. This is the Whispering Woods. In the northern reaches of the world, where the air tasted of pine and frost, lay a small village called Bracken Hollow. The villagers built their homes close together, huddling for warmth against the endless woods that surrounded them. Every child in Bracken Hollow grew up with the same warning: never wander past the old oak after sundown. The woods remember, and they never forget. But Lyra, a curious girl with hair the color of autumn leaves and eyes bright as amber, didn't believe in such things. The forest, to her, was not cruel, it was lonely. And sometimes, on quiet nights, she thought she could hear it calling her name. It was on the eve of her 12th winter when Lyra followed the voice. A silvery mist curled between the trees, and the moon hung low and pale like a coin in the sky. She carried a tiny lantern, one her father had made before he vanished years ago. As she walked deeper, the whispers grew louder, forming soft words she could almost understand. "Lyra, come closer." At the heart of the woods, she found a tree unlike any other. Its bark shimmered faintly, and beneath its roots pulsed a soft blue light, like a heartbeat buried in the earth. When she reached out to touch it, the forest fell silent. And in that silence, a voice, not from the air, but from within her mind, spoke. "Promise me you'll return when the forest grows quiet again." "I promise," she whispered, though she didn't know to whom. Then everything went dark. When she woke, she was lying at the forest's edge as dawn light broke over the hills. The villagers said they found her sleepwalking, that she had dreamed the whole thing. But the mark on her palm, shaped like a leaf and faintly glowing, told her otherwise. Years passed, and Bracken Hollow changed. The pines grew thinner. The soil turned dry. The whispers in the woods faded until one night, they stopped completely. That night, all lanterns in the village flickered out at once. Even the stars seemed to vanish. Lyra, now a young woman, awoke to a strange stillness. The forest had gone silent, completely silent. And somewhere deep within her memory, a promise stirred. The forest grows quiet when it is dying. With her father's lantern and her cloak wrapped tight, Lyra set out beneath a sky that refused to shine. The trees stood motionless, their branches heavy with frost. No wind, no sound. Each step echoed like a heartbeat. And though she tried not to listen, the silence pressed against her ears until she almost wished the whispers would return. At last, she reached the clearing where the shimmering tree once stood. But now it was gone. In its place, a hollow wound gaped in the earth, glowing faintly blue. From it came a breath, slow, weak, and fading. "You kept your promise," it sighed. The light rose and formed a shape, tall and graceful, with skin of bark and eyes like dew, the keeper of the woods, a being both ancient and fragile. "You came back," the keeper said softly. "The forest is dying. Its roots are tangled in sorrow." Lyra knelt beside her. "What must I do?" "Three hearts keep this forest alive," the keeper whispered. "The heart of memory, the heart of shadow, and the heart of light. But one has been stolen." "Stolen by whom?" "The one who forgets," said the keeper. "Find the lost heart before the silence devours all." Lyra followed the faint blue trail that glowed beneath her feet, roots of memory winding through the dark. The forest shifted as she walked, trees bending subtly toward her, their faces almost human. In one grove, she saw ghostly figures, memories of the village's ancestors, carrying lanterns, whispering prayers. Each one vanished as she passed, their voices fading like embers. Then came the shadows. They moved without shape, reflections without bodies. When she lifted her lantern, they hissed and shrank away, but not before she heard their warning. Do not seek what was lost. Forget, and you will be free. Still she walked on. At last the roots led her to an ancient stone well, its rim covered in frost and runes that glowed faintly. Inside, the water shimmered like glass. She leaned over and saw not her reflection, but her father's face. Papa. He smiled sadly. You kept your promise. Her heart leapt and then broke. As she reached out, the image rippled, and his voice deepened into something hollow. Stay, it said. Forget the pain. Forget the promise. The shadows rose from the well, wrapping around her wrists. But Lyra lifted her lantern high and whispered, I remember everything, and that's why I must go on. The light burst forth, shattering the darkness. The well cracked, spilling silver light across the ground. Beyond the well, a grove bloomed, flowers made of light unfurling under a rising false dawn. At its center floated a crystal, beating like a heart. She reached for it, but a shadow stepped forward, her own reflection, but older, colder. I am the one who forgets, it said. I am what you left behind when you turned away from grief. The forest dies because you refused to let go. Lyra trembled. Her lantern flickered. The reflection's eyes were filled with sorrow, not malice. To save the forest, she had to forgive herself for her father's loss, for her fear, for her silence. She touched the reflection's hand. Light flooded the grove. The ground shook. Roots burst from the earth, glowing blue and gold. The trees lifted their branches to the sky, leaves shimmering as though waking from a long dream. The keeper appeared once more, her form now strong and radiant. The forest remembers, she said, and it forgives. Lyra stood at the heart of it all, tears glistening as moonlight broke through the clouds for the first time in years. She lifted her lantern one last time. It flared bright, then went out, its flame becoming a star rising above the trees. And so, dear dreamers, the forest breathed again. Not because the light was found, but because the heart that carried it learned to forgive. Some stories aren't about defeating darkness, but learning to walk beside it hand in hand. If ever you hear the wind through the pines whispering your name, listen closely. It might just be the forest remembering you. Thank you for wandering through the whispering woods with me. If you felt the magic tonight, subscribe, share this tale, and let your own light whisper back to the stars. Tales by Lyra, stories from the stars.